So this is a short message to announce that I released my 40th album. Some of the albums were EPs and some of them were full albums. This is since I've been back in Florida, and it has quite a wide variety of music. I do it, basically to pursue the material that I love in music, and I'm definitely drawn towards the creative aspect. So even if I like certain styles of music, it's more important for me to want to plant the seed of the creativity and to develop that than to really refine that and flesh it out. So basically, that's why, since I've been back in Florida, I came up with the new concept of XRiffs to kind of complement the concept of Groove Shadows. And one of the next plans I have is to actually just do some A/B comparisons on what a drum loop sounds like versus what a Groove Shadow has the capacity to do in 2023, because unbelievably, the Groove Shadow thing is still in the shadows. There's a lot more to be said with rhythm and what could be done. And what happened with rhythm is, because something is danceable, they made it like very straightforward where there's certain genres of rhythms. But if you listen to the world rhythm and you listen to all the things that can happen with rhythm, then you get an idea of a different way of rhythm. And the rhythm can change over time. It can become a sort of aleatoric rhythm. So it doesn't have to have a standardized model to close it off. Instead, it's an open-ended rhythm. But it can still keep the same structural, impact or accent, and you don't have to necessarily, go crazy with Groove Shadow, but it's definitely capable of, that fine line between the spectral sensibility and the natural element of acoustic instruments. And that's the entire point. I mean, imagine this rhythm that's capable of swarming over an entire track, but then zooming back out to the size of a woodblock. And so the rhythm is ready to be, really fleshed out in 2023. You have the greatest advancements yet with the morphing technologies, and I suppose AI will start to get involved with that. Maybe AI will actually produce better Groove Shadows than people have, because if you look around, you don't see anything that happened with that, because basically there's a tendency towards the mediocrity, because mediocrity is universal. It's universally palatable. So the thing is, musicians try to play it to the crowd, and the record labels ensure that everything is very cookie cutter. And Groove Shadows, the whole point of it was to open the cookie jar for new kinds of concepts. And that wasn't what happened with music, because it's not controlled by the artists. It's controlled by interests of money and all this nonsense that needs to get out of our industry since it was born. Since the industry became an industry, basically. There should have been another way to facilitate careers of artists that had a different methodology, different model. So anyways, the XRiffs thing is the first ever release in this collection of 40. The great accomplishments of the release, I would say, are probably some of my latest stuff, which is Cellular Boombox. It's a collection of various types of electronic music, and I'm just sort of scratching the surface. And for instance, perhaps the next round is going to include the Groove Shadow material, and at least put more of a spotlight on it. And the next great accomplishment is the art show piano piece, and I plan to do more of those, because I feel like I have a compatibility with the concept naturally, and that's always amazing when that occurs. And so I'll definitely continue on both of those routes, because it's in my blood to do that style more than it is to try to mimic other things. So anyways, that's the announcement. 40 CDs since I've been back in Florida for about 7 or 8 years. Who's keeping track? It's been a very busy time and a very changing world in those times, but what else is new, right? So, all right, I'll leave it at that. Hopefully you can check out some of this material. There's a little bit of everything for all walks of people.